Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is the second part of the tutorial on how to make a bustier with mono strap and sheer cutout. Do subscribe to the channel, share to friends, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and turn on your notification bell. See ya in our next video. Thank you so much. So at this point now, I've gone ahead to transfer my pattern paper to my fabric, and this is what I have. Alright, so these are my pieces and these are my lining pieces. The next thing I did was to use an interfacing on it to serve as a stiffener. Alright, so I used an air stay here. So I did both to the lining and to the main fabric. Now I'm going to go ahead and join my pieces together. Alright, and join my pieces together. So this is my lining, I will join it, the same thing I will do to my main fabric. So now I want to cut out my breast pad for my bust. So now I'm going to be placing this on top of my breast pad. Then I'm going to cut out that shape. Please, it's going to be starting from the under bust. Now I'm going to trim it off some inches before the startup line, so it will not compete with my stitches. Alright, I'll still go a little bit down again. So this is what I have. Then I will make a trim this one. Alright, now I'm going to use a pin and secure it down, or you can go ahead and use hemming gum to iron it down, which is totally fine, or you run a stitch on it, that is also okay. Or maybe you use the breast pad that is gummy. There is some breast pad that has gum on them, which is fine. So this is one part. I'll also go ahead and cut out for this other piece. Alright, I'm going to be placing it this way. I'm cutting it out. Go ahead and pin it. Then this is what I have. Then we're going to make a curve inward this way. So this is what I have for the other piece. Now we're going to work on the center front of our pad. So now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be minusing what I have. The difference between my under bust and my waistline is 3.5 inches. So I'm going to note it and minus it, because that's where my breast pad is going to be stopping at my under bust. So it's here and it's here. So now I'm going to place it this way. So this is what I'm cutting off. I'm going to go ahead and secure this down with a pin. Then I'll go ahead and cut. Alright, now our breast pad is not going to get, this is our chest line. Our breast pad is not going to get to our chest line. So it's going to be stopping, let me say 1 inch below your chest line. So this is where our breast cup is going to be stopping, 1 inch below the chest line. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So this is what we have for the center of our breast cup. So now the next thing to do is to go ahead and join your pieces together. I'm going to be joining my pieces together. Alright, so I'm going to be starting from the down parts. Place the two of them together this way. Start from the down and run your stitch. You have to carefully hold this to avoid folding or seam lines. Having done it, this is what I have. Now I'm going to go ahead and notch. Reason for notching is to give it a proper lapping. Okay, so I'll open it up, then remove the pins I used to secure it down. And this is what we have. Now if you have a tailor's ham, you use it to iron it. Put your tailor ham inside, or you can get pieces of fabrics that are enough, put it inside and iron it down. Together, this is our lining piece, this is our main piece, our main fabric. This is what we have. All right, now I'm going to be placing it right side facing each other. So this is what I have. This is for my front piece. Now the first step I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and close up this cutouts we have here. So I'm going to go ahead and place it down. I will recommend using pins to hold it down to avoid hard ironing or sewing and losing, going back again to sew. So I'm going to use a pin to secure it down. Okay, at this point I noticed something. My lining piece is a little bit smaller than the main fabric. If you look at it here now, it's not matching up together, so I have to remove these pins and readjust. That is the reason why you have to make use of a pin. So now I'm going to readjust and secure down with a pin again. Having secured it down this way, you see that we have excess on our fabric and it's not matching up with the lining. So what I'm going to do is to go ahead and trim off the excess we have. To trim off the lining so it will match up with our fabric. So this is what we have. Now I'm going to go ahead and also secure it down with the pin properly. Okay, so having done this, I'll go ahead and run a stitch on it first. Now, to run my stitch, I'm also going to be working with a hemming gum. Reason for this hemming gum is so that when you're done, ironing it flat will be very easy. It will help the two fabrics to stick together. So I'm going to be working with this hemming gum. So guys, I'm done stitching on it, and I also went ahead and notched it, like make a notch, slight notch on my fabric. All right, so now I'm going to be turning it out. So I'm going to pull the lining inwards this way. Now this is where the main work is. So when I'm done, this is what I have. Okay, I've gone ahead to press it down. After turning it down, this is what it's looking like. All right, so you can still go ahead and iron it more, which is totally fine. Now I'm going to use a bias tape on the neck area. So I'm going to be using my bias tape to hem the neck area. So I'll run a stitch on it first, then turn it in and top stitch on it. The same thing I will do to my armhole. So guys, at this point now, I'm done with this piece. This is what we have. This is what the inside looks like after working with the cotton bias to fold it in. This is the outside. Now we're going to be working on our back piece. So this is our back piece. You're going to be placing it right side to right side, like with each of the lining. Like for instance, now this is my main fabric and this is my lining. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and close this area up, close this area up. Okay, the same thing I will do for my back, the other side of the back. So this is my back piece. I've gone ahead to turn it out with a lining. This is what I have. Now I'm going to be holding down my zip allowance using my pin together. Okay, I think we used about 1.5 inches for our zip, but I'm marking 1.25 inches. Reason is because we have already sewn, like we have joined our lining pieces together. So let's assume we used 1/4 of an inch to sew. So I'm holding this down. So now the next thing I'm going to be marking is my darts. So from the center point, I'm going to mark 4 inches. That's my darts intake. Alright, and my dart is starting 1 inch below my chest line. So from here now I'm going to run a stitch on my darts. So this is my darts. I'm going to go ahead and stitch on my darts. Okay guys, so we are done running a stitch on our that. The next thing we are working on now is to shape our dress. So I've already marked the shape line. What I'm going to do is to go ahead and place it right side facing each other. So I'm going to place it this way and run a stitch on it. That's what I'm going to go ahead. Guys, the next thing I'm going to do now, I'm done joining my back and my front together. I'm going to go ahead and join the shoulder together. That is the next thing to do. That's what I'm going ahead to do now. Guys, when I'm done, this is what I have. Now for the down part of our piece or our bustier, I'm going to be attaching a flare gown to it, like a flare skirt to it. Alright, so that's what I'm going to work on now. So, and I'll be dropping the link to the video in the description box.